Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Okay, let's not forget that. We got some things we've got to talk about. There's some updates. There's some things that are going on that have been going on. I didn't get a chance to really talk to you guys about it earlier because I had some things to do this evening. But I wanted to hop on with you guys and give you guys these updates because I think we all deserve to know what's going on. I think a lot of us, this case has really grabbed the attention of a lot of people, not only just myself. I think a lot of people on all these platforms really want to know what the heck is going on. And if this is foul play, or if this is foul play within the family, or if this is foul play from outside the family. And rightfully so, we need to dive into it and find out exactly what the hell is going on. So, we're on here for a late Sunday night show, but don't worry, I'll keep it as entertaining as I possibly can, all right? And I'll give you guys the information and the conversations that are percolating right now or that have been happening over the last few hours, if not the last several hours, because like I said, there was things I couldn't talk to you guys about earlier that I need to address and talk to you guys about now. So do me a favor before we get into everything. Hit that like button down below, crush it, do what it do, hit that reaction button. That'll be greatly appreciated if you're watching on these other platforms. And if you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, I'm on all of them, okay? So make sure you're following, liking the page, following the page, etc. Okay, so follow. If you're watching on that TikTok, follow. Let's go, all right? Of course, if you are watching on my YouTube channel, where you're going to be able to see a lot of the videos, a lot of the things I'm going to be looking at here, just for those of y'all who are watching on TikTok, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, okay? Subscribe, please, and thank you. Hit that join button down below, okay? Become a member here, but also go to my second channel and my third channel. I got 3 channels on YouTube. The Pascal Show that you're watching here. The second one's called Pascal Clips, or the Pascal Show Clips, all right? Subscribe over there. And then I have another one called Pascal Raw. Go subscribe to all of them. Hit that notification bell. Set it to all. Make sure you know when I'm live, whenever I upload, because it's random, okay? It's very random. Your boy's busy, okay? So make sure you do that. Of course, like I said earlier, check out my membership by hitting that join button down below. Check out my Patreon, and of course, check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there, PascalMerch.com, okay? Now, there's a lot that we have to talk about here, okay? And like I said, we're not going to be on for like a super long time because it's Sunday. I know a lot of kids are starting school. I know a lot of your kids are starting school tomorrow and all that. So, of course, you know, I don't want to keep you guys too long tonight unless you have me here for a longer period of time because you guys are coming in and you guys have questions and you guys want to talk about what's going on, which will be totally understandable. Okay, no frustration about that whatsoever. But one thing is for sure, we do know that this young boy, Emmanuel Haro, has been missing for the last few days. And what has been told by the parents is not making a whole lot of sense. The math truly is not fully mathing. Now, one thing is for sure, there's been a lot of people that basically saying, oh, yeah, you know, the internet has been out here fabricating information. I have yet to see any fabrications personally. And I'm not out here interested to see the rumor mill BS, if that makes any sense. The fabrication of things. I'm not down for that, right? I'm interested to hear and know a little bit more about the Haros. I really would love to understand who they are, why they are what they are, how they tick, etc. What's the real dynamics inside that home? If there's anything that people outside of the home can say, if if the father, okay, if Jake is really volatile, is he really a monster behind closed doors or not? Right? Let's not forget the black eye. Like, this is the thing that everybody, of course, we're all talking about it. Of course, we're obsessing about this black eye. Okay? Because it doesn't make sense. In fact, I will go even further and say, I think she had more than just one black eye. I think she was healing from two. That's what I truly think. If you look at her face, it seems like one side of her face was healing a little bit quicker than the other side. And we can all agree the black eye that she received is definitely days old. It's already in that healing process. I believe it's a week old. That's what I truly think. Now that we've been hearing, for those of y'all who are late to the party, okay, let me give you guys a quick breakdown of what's going on, okay? So literally Thursday, this is how quickly this case is starting to unravel, and I'm thinking it's unraveling, okay, in a good way. Because obviously if it unravels, that means we're going to find out exactly what's going on here, right? But Thursday, Rebecca Otto took Emmanuel into her car to drive over to this sporting goods store to get a mouth guard for one of her stepsons that was actually doing football practice down the street. Now, apparently, Jake, the husband and the father of Emmanuel, was with them, with the kids and all that stuff. And apparently they also say that his ex-wife was there watching their son. Because, this is not a son that, this is not her son. This is not Rebecca's son. It is her stepson that was having football practice. Okay? So she opted out and said, I'll go get him a new mouth guard right now. I'll take Emmanuel with me. So she takes Emmanuel and they drive all the way down to Big 5 sporting goods store. Young 7-month-old Emmanuel messes his diaper. Okay? As diapers, that's what a diaper's there for, right? So after she parks, which she parks kind of, if you're standing there looking at the front door, she parked in the front row near the front door, but on the far right-hand side, the last parking spot on the right-hand side, right in front of the store. She realizes that Emmanuel had a wet diaper. So she goes back to the back of the car, gets him out of the seat, lays him down on the back seat, and starts to change him. And then out of nowhere, a man apparently walks up to her, taps her on the shoulder, and says, "Hola." And then she turns around and she gets knocked the F out. She falls to the ground, passed out. She wakes up. She finds herself with a black eye and her son, Emmanuel, nowhere to be found. So she runs into the Big 5, freaking out. Totally understandable. I would be freaking out if this was happening to me too. Going in there trying to find her son. This is when cops were called. And of course, this is where we're at least at the origin story of this whole thizang. Okay? Just for those of y'all who are a little bit late to the party. That's a very, very broad stroke breakdown of what's going on. But obviously, there's a lot of things that have developed over the past even the last 24 hours, y'all. It's been absolutely nook and foots. All right. And that's what we're here to talk about. Okay. Now, thing is that the Special Investigations Division put out a statement basically saying, put out a report actually, okay, basically saying that Rebecca Otto's account is not adding up. There are very little things that are actually connecting. There are inconsistencies in her story. So we find out about that, right? She, of course, finds out about this. So much that she says, nah, bro. She didn't say bro, but she's like, no, man, I'm not continuing with this interview. Sorry, thank you so much, but I'm done talking to you. First and foremost, let me just say this before we continue on. That is a dead giveaway if I have ever seen one of saying, I did it. Or how about this? I'm hiding something and I don't want to tell you guys. Sorry. Number one red flag on the situation. Okay. This is when I wish I had a whistle and throwing the red flag. You know what I mean? Red flag on the play. Clearly, dead giveaway right there. Inconsistencies. Then on top of it, her going, nope, can't talk. I can't continue because I need to find my son. What she's doing, you know, we're going to relive some of those videos here in a second too. Oh, they're glorious. But then they say, okay, fine. Because there's a lot of inconsistencies we see here. All right. So how about we just do a lie detector test? Because we feel some type of way about you. Instantly, Jake from State Farm swoops in and basically says, oh, no. No can do. I can't go for that. No can do. We are going to get a lawyer before she ever does a lie detector test. First off, why would you not just be like, yeah, let's go. Say less, bro. Strap her up right now. How does it work? Does she need to go and take a dump first so she doesn't clench her butthole every once in a while, trying to hold in a fart? How does it work? You should be absolutely down. If you are innocent, if you are absolutely 110% innocent, you should be like, say less. Come on, strap me in. Let's go for a ride. You think I'm lying? Come on now. Let's do it. You see what I'm saying? Instantly, you should be doing that. But no, they lawyered up. And then they stopped. This is the part that they say. They stopped being cooperative with 5-0, which is also a huge, huge red flag. You are trying to find your son, right? These are the people that are there to do it, right? They're the number one people. If you're trying to you're not going out of your way to basically say, no 5-0, we're good. I don't need y'all. I'm going to find my son myself. No, you're not doing that. You're not that. You're going, yes, help me. I need to find my son right now. First 48 hours are crucial. And you got 5-0 all up in your face. And instead of them telling them everything, they go, we good. We're going to go over here. We can't talk to you right now. You say there's inconsistencies. I can't talk to you 5-0 anymore. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Now, this is another theory I've already talked about ad nauseum, but I'm gonna say this really quick, okay? Because I truly believe that this is, I think the bruise that she received was much worse. And I also think it spread to both eyes. That's just my theory. I could be wrong. And I think this is at least a week old bruise. But we just got to revisit this theory that I have. So she goes out. She's standing on concrete, by the way. She's changing the diapers of, her beautiful baby boy. And all of a sudden, somebody says, hola. And she turns around and dude goes, knocks her you got to hit. She got hit so hard. So how hard did she get hit, Pascal? That she falls like a sack of rocks, dead weight to the ground. You mean to tell me the only part of your body that's showing any type of trauma from getting knocked the out is that little bruise on your face? I'm going to say it till I can't say it no more. I will say it till I'm blue in the face. Miss me with that nonsense. Yeah, Amanda. Cap. Oh, cap. Cap. Kippity, cap, bro. Hola. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You got to get hit. Here it is. You got to get hit pretty hard. First and foremost. Then you're going boo like that. Dead weight. On the ground. Hard. The only thing on her body is she would have she'd have scrapes on the side of her face at least. Some bruising on her arms, shoulders, something. She ain't got nothing, baby. She ain't got nothing. This is an old, so old, it's old. Okay? Old bruise. It's not old bruise. Oh. Okay? But they're trying to use this because for a fact, Jake from State Farm has put his fist into that woman's face before. And it's not the first, nor would it have been the last time. But they're having to use that part of the story so it doesn't show that he's a violent person. Let's not forget, this is also somebody who just got out. Because of doing cruel things, violence towards littles, for lack of a better term. So think about that for a second. If she did something terrible to Emmanuel, or if Jake from State Farm did something terrible to Emmanuel, and they both decide together, we got to cover this up. If that actually happened, she's going to sit there and go, but, or he actually is going to say, girl, I don't know what he sounds like, but girl, you got that bruise on your face. So we got to use that a part of the story. So let's just say you drove down, you went over to Big Five, you got knocked out, and that's why you got the bruise on your face. We're going to use that because I can't go back. I ain't going back to jail. I ain't going back. And she goes, okay, whatever you say. Because she's probably terrified because this man continues to put his paws on her. That's clear. So they use it. And for a fact that the cops aren't dumb. They're looking at that and going, well, no, there's something weird about right there. No, not this side of your face, right under your eye, right there. Something about right here is not computing. Can you tell us the story one more time? And then this guy knocked you in the face at that time. Okay. And instead of them giving her a fresh one, I hate to say it like that, they stuck with the old one, the old bruise. Ain't that something? But of course, everyone is side-eyeing this case. Everyone is side-eyeing this situation because it doesn't make no damn sense. And good. For once, this is a case that's falling apart faster than what they built, okay, around this particular story. That this story is crumbling faster. than the time it took them to come up with the story. Now, here's the question I have, and I hope that this gets wrapped up. I hope it gets wrapped up tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? I hate to say it like that, but I mean, hopefully he's found alive. But like I said, I'm hoping that they confess or something of that sort. Police finally say that these guys are the prime suspects. They bring this nasty, dirty asses in and they serve them the nice side of justice as soon as possible. That's what I'm hoping for. But one thing is interesting, though. We're now starting to hear more things. Why are they going through the house? Why are they searching the house? Why are we hearing that traces of red blood were found in the house? Why are they putting out cadaver dogs throughout the house and searching the backyard? Why are they excavating? Yes, I use the big word, excavating the backyard right now, or have been excavating the backyard. Why are they doing all that stuff if that bruise is fresh and that kid was really taken from her at the Big Lots parking lot? It's because they lied. It's because they lied, y'all. There's no denying it. Police have not ruled out foul play. They are digging through the backyard of this home. They found blood inside the house. They have not confirmed who's that red, for lack of a better term, who's that red it belongs to, which hopefully they figure that out with the quickness here soon. But they have not confirmed who it belongs to. Could it be Emmanuel's? There's a lot more information too that they're talking about that we're finding out, because again, where they live, they have a decent sized backyard. It's fenced off, but then there's more to their backyard. Their backyard is vast. If they just knock down the fence to where they live, to their backyard is massive. Acres and acres of just sand. There's still a possibility that that kid could be way out there in some dirt field behind the house. I hate to say it like that. I hate to ask these questions, but could Emmanuel Haro be buried in the backyard of his own home? These are the things that we're going to be discussing. And of course, a whole lot more, because there's a lot more information that's coming out. Now, I just want to play this video. Now, on TikTok, you're not going to be able to see this, but I'll explain it to you guys in just a little bit. I played it before. I have to play it again because this is where we've gotten the most information. There really hasn't been a whole lot of, bombshell after bombshell. Yes, there's bombshells. And we're going to be looking at a couple TikToks from creators that are in the area and all that, which I do appreciate the people that are out there giving as much information as they can, because the news hasn't really been giving much. They're just like, and we're waiting for them to go through the backyard. And that's all they say, right? KTLA, San Bernardino. And that's all they do. And they just move on. It's like, damn, can you give us a little bit more? Damn, right? But they haven't really given much information. I do want to play this one more again for you guys, because I know a lot of y'all saw the earlier show where we talked about this, where we covered this, but we need to take a look at this one more again. I'll explain everything to you guys on the TikTok. Just ride with me for a second, okay? Just ride with me. But here we go.
Her initial statement that she refused to continue any questioning. And tonight, the grandmother has confirmed to us that the couple is no longer cooperating with investigators and has lawyered up.
First off, most important piece right here, okay? I know I'm soiling the good name of Jake from State Farm. I'm sorry. He's a good man. He's a good man, Jake from State Farm. He's a very good man. But the thing is, it's funny. I'm sorry. Okay. You know, I come here with love. Okay. But yeah. One thing is for sure. The parents are not cooperating with 5-0 at all. That is weird. Don't you think? Dead giveaway right there. Foul play is afoot.
Hours after they made that desperate public plea for their son's safe return.
It's just a baby. Just give our son back, please.
Oh, boy.
Where is 7-month-old Emmanuel? His parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro, say someone kidnapped their baby outside this Big Five in Ukaipa after assaulting Rebecca Haro and knocking her out cold.
Now, again, one thing I'm still kind of trying to figure out here, because they're talking about the Big Five sporting goods store. They're talking about all that, you know, how she pulled up and she was attacked and then, you know, little Emmanuel was taken. My question still is, one, how far away? This is the one thing I haven't gotten answered, and maybe somebody out there knows this answer. So please, you know, don't fire off all. You guys can actually fire off all at once. It's fine. How far away was Big Five from the football practice? How far away was the Big Five sporting goods store? How far away was that from the actual football field where they were having football practice? Was it just a quick trip? Or was it 20 minutes? Under 2 miles. Interesting. Only two. Somebody said 10 miles. Some people are saying 5 minutes away. I mean, here, regardless, if it's still not so far away, right? But she still went to a place that had no cameras. Here's the other thing. How did she know? How did she know? How did she know to pull up to that place? And because I'm telling you right now, you know, when I pull up to a store, I don't look around. Like, that's not the first thing I do. Are there security cameras around here? Oh, there's one. Okay. And there's another one right there. I don't do that when I pull up to a parking lot just to see if there's security cameras. It just seems a little bit weird. But clearly they came up with something. There was some sort of plan that they were going to put into place, which is what they did. It just seems very odd. Okay? Long story short. And then, of course, they're using the black eye that she already received a week before. But then it also makes you wonder. This is going to sound weird. This is going to sound crazy. I'm going to ask this is a random thought that I have in my head. What if, oh, wow, this is crazy. Two different options here. Just ride with me for a second, okay? Before we, continue on and listen to this thing. Because, we're all trying to figure this whole thing out, okay? Clearly, she received this shiner from her man, her husband, okay? But what if the mark she got on her face is in connection to what actually happened to Emmanuel Haro? What if something actually happened and that's why she got hit in the face? And then, of course, he's gone, right? Something bad happened. And then they came up with something, this whole story. Now, if that is true, then I would want to know, because this bruising is like at least a week old. It's at least 7 days old. So what if 7 days ago he crossed over, he lost his life, and they had 7 days to try to figure out how to get rid of the remains and come up concoct some sort of story. Think about that for a second. Could it be that in a fit of rage, because apparently Jake likes to rage on his littles, that's why he was locked up. What if this time it went too far? Maybe she got in the way trying to protect. Maybe not. But still got hit in the face. Young boy loses his life. So they go and they discard the remains. What they do with the remains, we do not know. But then that gives them some time to try to plan and concoct a story. But I'm still trying to understand the connection between this football practice or this football game and figuring out that Big Five Sporting Goods has no security cameras outside in its parking lot. How did they figure that part out? Because they could have gone to a Popeyes parking lot. They could have gone to a McDonald's. Like, they could have gone to so many other parking lots, but they chose Big Five specifically. If this is just some concocted, corroborated, messed up, fabricated story, right? Something interesting though, right? Now, Chartman just said something here. Facebook post said, baby might have been found in dumpster. Oh, dear Lord. If that's true, we're going to have to look that up. Can somebody send that to me? I'd love to see if that's actually confirmed, if that's actually true, okay? But if you really think about it, what if they were thinking about this for over a week trying to, the Facebook post is fake? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Okay, moving on. Thank you. Okay, so everybody's saying that in the TikTok too. So, okay. I'm just reading comments, just so you know. I'm not reading that. I'm just reading the comments, okay, guys? So that's a rumor. He still has not been found. Okay, because I was thinking this is a Quentin Simon situation all over again. Damn. But moving on, okay? I truly think that maybe something happened, and maybe this kid, Emmanuel, didn't lose his life at the hands of her. I think she is a victim as well, okay? In her own right. I think she's a victim of being married to a possible monster, because he's not only putting his hands on the kids, he's putting his hands on his wife as well. So what if there's a possibility that something bad happened? He raged. Emmanuel loses his life. She gets hurt in the process. They take the time for over the last 5-7 days to come up with some sort of story. And then when it was time to perform, it was showtime. And now we're at showtime. But of course, the story and what they've concocted is definitely unraveling right before our eyes very, very quickly. What do you guys think? Do you think, am I completely out of my mind? Or do you think that could be what it is? I'm thinking it could be that. Unless he raged, he put his hands on her in the past, like in the past week. She received that hurt. He raged again a few days later. Emmanuel unfortunately loses his life. He threatens her life, saying, hey, you're going to tell this story exactly how it is. We're going to use the bruising on your face. And now we're here too. So there's, you know what I mean? Or she did it herself. That's still a possibility, that she took the life of Emmanuel herself. I hate to say it like that, but like I said, those are all the possibilities, right? It's multi-tiered. Or he was actually taken, but we already know that's a lie. Okay. So again, it does make you wonder what actually is going on here, right? And how she got the shiner on her face. That's the piece that I want to know. How in the hell did she get that on her face? And why the hell are they trying to come up with this story, trying to add that old shiner into the story as well. And I think that's the reason why police are looking at this and going, well, no, it's not adding up because that shiner old. That shiner be old, right? But let's continue on. Like I said, that's just a theory. I could be completely wrong.
I was gonna get the diaper and somebody said hola, and I didn't see nothing since. I woke up right here on the floor.
Still no tears. I know we've already seen this a million times, but it's just like there's still no tears in their eyes. Like and I get it. You could be emotionally exhausted and not have enough tears to come out of your face. That's true. Okay, that could be dehydration. That could just be exhaustion, emotionally exhausted, etc. Saying the same story over and over and over again, right? Trying to bring awareness, that kind of thing. But something about this does not feel real. You see what I'm saying? There's other people that react to trauma differently, right? They'll stand 10 toes down, being like, I'm going to find my son. I don't give a damn. He's out there and I'm going to find him, right? But you feel the passion. You feel that it's real. This doesn't feel real. This feels like they're cosplaying victims. Yeah, that's what I said. I said it. Okay? They are cosplaying like they're victims. Okay? Cosplaying. This is community theater, for crying out loud. Okay? High school theater. Damn it. Their own version of Our Town. That's what we're watching right now. You feel me?
And I didn't see Emmanuel.
Haro says she was parked in front of the store about to change her son's diaper.
Okay, I'm going to skip ahead because we've been seeing that. And then, of course, the grandmother speaking out, okay? She's like, they're homebodies. They don't do anything, blah, blah, blah. They're good people, la, 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 right? But then apparently that kind of stuff is all starting to kind of backfire now, okay? And then we saw all this too.
To have a baby.
Let's take a look at this one more time.
Boy of her own. The grandmother also says investigators asked her daughter to take a lie detector test, but her husband said no until they had a lawyer.
Weird. One thing about this also, this does not look like two people that are terrified of what the possibilities of what happened to their son. Like the possibilities of what happened to their son, they're terrified. This seems like more like, okay, I got to put on a show so that people have concern, and then they start hashtagging find Emmanuel. That's what it feels like. It also kind of feels like, God, I hope I don't get caught. That's what it feels like. They're not really crying, they're sweating bullets out of fear. Just saying.
She's just going crazy, she can't handle it anymore.
She says her daughter is receiving death threats and her 2-year-old has been removed from the home as the search for baby Emmanuel goes on 48 hours after his mother claims someone ran off with him.
Okay, and here's the part.
And we have learned tonight that the baby's father does have a criminal record, and the grandmother told us that investigators were out at the couple's home in Cabazon, searching the home with cadaver dogs and also digging up parts of the property. We tried to reach out to San Bernardino County investigators for any information on that, but they aren't taking any more questions today. Meantime, they are asking anyone with any information about this case, anyone with any.
Now, of course, anybody with any information, please contact local authorities. Let them know what you know. But that's the thing. Even the local news is saying that they have cadaver dogs in the house and outside the house. They are excavating the outside of the home. They are digging up things, trying to find this young boy because of the inconsistencies and because the couple are not willing to participate or cooperate, with police. That is massive red flags, right? We can see that from a mile from space, for crying out loud. That something ain't right. Period. So again, a lot of things are very weird. Now, I do want to share this piece. Now, this is just somebody that posted online. Now, I'm going to be real. We, of course, have to take things with a grain of salt. But somebody was speaking about working with Jake and saying that, yeah, he should be the number one suspect. Without a shadow of a doubt, he should be getting looked at like crazy because of his violent past, especially his alleged violent past with his own kin, with his own children. So I want to share this. We're going to look at this, but like I said, we got to take this with a grain of salt because there's plenty of people out here that, you know, like I said, we have to err on caution. People sometimes will jump on and say things and, you know, it may not be true, but then again, it may be true. Okay. So let's take a look at this. So somebody posted, used to work with Jake at Walmart. He should be the prime suspect in all this. I'm not going to go into detail, but his previous relationship didn't end so well. He's crazy and he hurt one of his kids. I'll say that. Hurt one of his kids so bad, it caused severe brain damage. The child was not the same. Let's just be real here. Jake should be the number one suspect. That's what somebody said on Facebook. Because you know how Facebook be, okay? Facebook be wilding out here, okay? Those streets are crazy, right? But somebody out here saying he should be the number one suspect. He just came out of jail, okay? He just got out. In fact, he has like a probation hearing or something of that sort that's supposed to happen in the top of this coming month because of what he was convicted of doing, which is putting his paws on one of his kids. So we already have a guy who has a history of violence, y'all. We have a guy who has a history of violence. You have a possible wife that either is violent as well or is also trapped, a prisoner in her own home and trapped and cornered basically by a monster as well. Now, don't get me wrong. Hold on. Time out. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. I'm not trying to justify anything with this for this woman at all. If she's lying, she gonna get, I hope justice comes for her too. But if she also is a victim and a survivor of surviving DV in real time, then I can see her making things up and lying for his sake out of fear of what he could possibly do to her. Look at the black eye. Just saying, look at the black eye. Also, let's add something on here too. Let's just throw a little bit more into this crazy true crime jambalaya that we're mixing up here. Think about this too. Do you really think that people were going to automatically believe Jake from State Farm over his own wife? Think about that for a second. If he was the one driving the car, pulling up to Big Five, got out the car, oh, little Emmanuel did a little boo-boo, got to change the diaper. He gets knocked the F out, wakes up, but son is gone, right? No one would believe that story, especially even more now, because we know he has a prison record, that he has an arrest record. Think about that for a second. So he probably in his mind was like, they're going to believe the female. They're going to believe the wife. The mother, she's a mother. They will have instant empathy, sympathy, and care for this woman because she's just a mom. But me, they're going to find out fast that I'm a violent person, and they're not going to believe me. Think about that for a second. So this whole thing is concocted, fabricated, set up, trying to buy them a little bit more time. Okay? Real talk. Trying to throw the police off their trail. Hence the reason why they didn't say, oh, he was taken from our home. No, he was taken 25 minutes away from our home in a place called Ukaipa at a Big Five sporting goods store with no cameras, no suspect, No identification of the suspect or the car. And it's my wife. It's not me, who has a violent past. You see what I'm saying? Because imagine this, y'all. If it was him and he's like, yeah, we're trying to find Emmanuel, right? And then they see the bruises on her face. It's a wrap, baby. That story's over. So they thought about this, y'all. They sat down and they thought about this. And maybe this is my wild and crazy thought theory here, but we're hypothesizing. I think he came up with the whole plan and she just ran with it. Yeah, that's why I said she has no other choice. I think that she is a victim. She trapped. And I think she went with what he said. That doesn't make her a hero. That doesn't make her less guilty. But I think she had no choice but to follow what he said. That's what I think. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Soon enough, baby, we will see soon enough. Because I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping that everything comes out like, wow, fast. I honestly hope that one of them just finally confesses, right? Just finally says, okay, here's the truth, bang, and just be done with it. Get that off their shoulders, clean and clear out that conscience, and get that kid home if he's still alive. But we'll see. See, now I'm hoping that this doesn't turn into like a Sebastian Rogers situation, okay? Where it's just a whole bunch of mucky muck, whole bunch of BS, law enforcement drags their feet, blah, 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 to the point where we don't find anything and the kid is still out there and no one knows where he is, to the point where people's theories fly far off the planet. They just spin off the planet, okay, to the point where we're talking about ancient aliens up in this mother lover. Yeah, it's gotten crazy with some of these true crime missing stories, okay, and cases, right? So hopefully it doesn't have to go that route, right? Real quick, we got a couple other things I'm going to share with you guys. But here it is. Dolores, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. So sad, so sad. Absolutely, absolutely. Very, very sad. I'm hoping that these theories are wrong. I'm just giving theories. My theories could be 110% wrong, but something tells me with the timeline, they jostled things around. They tried to buy time. That's what I think. I think they tried to buy time. And I think that this kid has been gone. He's gone missing way before Thursday. And I think that this black eye has a connection to his disappearance. I could be wrong, but I could be right. Let's get this other super sticker or super chat. Thank you so much, Sunshine. Thank you. Who said they were in the store before claiming car broke into and asking about cameras in the parking lot? Who said they were in the store before claiming car broke into? No one said the car was broken into, but she did run into Big Five sporting goods store after she didn't find Emmanuel in the car. At least that's what she's saying, okay? She got knocked out. She woke up. He was gone. She ran into Big Five, basically saying, hey, have you seen my son? And they're like, no. And then they called husband Jake from State Farm, and he came running over there. And then, of course, we're now where we're at now. Okay. Now, here's the thing. This is from a TikToker by the name of Murder by Nature podcast. She did some really she gave us some updates that I want to share with y'all. All right. And you're not going to be able to hear this on TikTok. Okay, guys. But I'll be breaking it down and letting you guys know what's going on. Okay. But she did break some things down. I want to share this with y'all because she did kind of do a whole, there's another video where she shows like a tour of Big Five and all that too, which is good to see, which I do appreciate. But she's the one who also was confirming, at least, she's, ears to the pipes, I guess, about the blood being found in the house, okay, which also spawned search warrants and also spawned cadaver dogs and excavating the backyard and all that, okay? So let's take a listen to this.
It's 7 a.m. here in Yucaipa, California, and I wanted to jump on because I'm seeing a ton of comments in my comment section. I'm being tagged in other videos. There's a lot of speculation right now that is happening that I want to dive into right here. The only confirmed information is that the 7-month-old was missing. He is still missing. A body has not been found. He's not been found in a dumpster. He has not been located. Cadaver dogs went to the parents' house yesterday. They did find a trace of blood. The amount of that blood has not been released. I want to make that very clear. There's people commenting that it was a lot of blood. No, there was no amount released. And whose blood it was has not been released either.
So they're saying that the amount of blood that was found inside the house, they have not confirmed how much of that was it a lot or was it just a little bit? Think about this too. Couple things you got to think about. Because if Rebecca is a victim in her own home, if she's a DV victim, which I think she is, I think it's a fair assessment that she is a DV victim. That red could very well be. Shoot, it could be in her home, or it could be hers. I'm sorry, it could very well be hers. Think about it. If he's putting his paws on her and the kids, it could be any of the kids. It could be hers. Shoot, it could even be him if he's shaving and he nicks his face a little bit. I'm just saying, just depends on, the amount of red that they're talking about here. I got to use these code words every once in a while, guys. If that's the case, that blood could be anybody's. If he's really a dangerous person. Now, hold on real quick. Let me get this really quick. Michelle said, thank you so much for the comment. They called the store a few days beforehand asking about cameras outside, said their car had been broken into. Say word? Say what? Wait, what? What? Say that again. Wait. Now, everybody just pause for 1 second because that's news to me. Do we have confirmation of that information? Did somebody are you telling me that somebody actually, one of them, called around a couple stores or called Big Five beforehand saying that their car had been broken into just to find out if there was cameras outside in the parking lot or not? Oh, my dear Jesus. So somebody on TikTok just said this. God Family just said this. God Family said, yes, the day prior, they said the car was broken into. But where, okay, and then Tara on TikTok saying, be hearing that all over. See, but where is there confirmation of that? Because if that's true, that's knuckin' thoughts. That's crazy. I didn't hear about that. So if that's true, that's insane. But where's I need confirmation. I need that from like from a from a news source, right? I need that from a news source for sure. Because it can't just be some random, no disrespect, but it can't just be from some random podcaster, because some people just say things to say things. You feel me? So just to make sure, but let me play a little bit more of what she's saying here, because she says a lot here. So let's rock and roll. But that's crazy if that's true. Then they absolutely should be looked at as suspects Numero uno and dos, right? Shouldn't they? Give me a break. Hola. Like, come on. You know what I mean? Hola. See? Like, that's just so crazy. Okay. That's just crazy. Okay, let's continue. She said the dude said hola. Let's continue. Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's my thoughts too, just Ashy. You know what I mean? Who's gonna greet you to beat you? You know what I'm saying? You know, I feel like that's in a like some comedy action movie. You know what I mean? Hello, pop. You know what I mean? Привет, comrade. Boom. You know what I mean? Like it feels like something from like the 80s or 90s. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But he said hola. Okay. I'm just saying, I'm sorry. It just seems a little bit weird. I feel like that's a line you hear from like a Arnold Schwarzenegger movie or like a old Sylvester Stallone movie. You know what I mean? And he's like the last guy you have to fight before you get to the final boss, you know? But in the, elevator's open, he's like, hola, bop. You know what I mean? Like that's the vibe I got. I'm sorry. Okay. But anyway, let's move on. Okay. Your girl said he said hola. Okay. Let's continue though. It started with hola.
They need another search warrant to go in. We don't know what for, but I want to make it very clear. There's also people posting their address from court documents.
Damn.
Now that address does not align with Cabazon. They dox the entire address. Please do not go to these homes. We do not know who lives there anymore. We don't.
I will say this too. People are starting to dox the couple. Okay. I wouldn't say to do that. Okay. And back in the day, it used to be a thing where people would actually go to the homes and stand outside the homes and put up signs and make a lot of noise and just, you know what I'm saying, like, and make people's lives a living hell. Don't get me wrong, the hell is coming for them for sure. It's called prison. But at the same time, people get, it used to be a thing. They don't do it. They haven't done that in a long time. And I don't know if they will do that with this particular case. But at the same time, it's like, nah, don't dox nobody. Don't dox these people. It's not good, especially when they're trying to dox.
I want to make that very clear. Now,
they're trying to dox and they're doxing the wrong house. That's the other thing too, right? So, yeah, just something to think about. Let's continue. Yeah, they did for Brian Laundrie Jackie on TikTok. Okay, they absolutely did that for Quentin Simon. Remember Quentin Simon? That was pretty crazy as well. It was a circus out there. Okay, so a lot of people are doing that, right? Going out there, live streaming, making the people who are living in the house and the neighbors. Let's not forget, it's all the neighbors too. Going through hell with all that as well, right? That rhymed, but you get what I'm saying. All right. Just don't do it. But at the same time, if that's what you guys want to do, that's on you. All right.
There's information that the parents declined a lie detector test, that the parents stopped talking, that the mother didn't say these things. Like there's so much speculation going on right now. The only thing that has happened, and I want to make this very clear, if you are not local here, the initial story you would have not gotten unless you've seen the screenshots that people have posted. The initial story came from the mother directly to her family, and the family was posting on our social media that night.
Now, again, she's saying the information that was given out was given, like what they gave out, the couple, okay, what the Arros gave out were actually given first to the family, other family members. And then you saw Auntie coming out with her video, basically saying like everyone needs to stop going after them. You don't know what they're going through, blah, 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 right? But that video and her social media account suddenly got wiped off the face of this planet. Why? I think it's because she found out that they were lying, that there were inconsistencies in the story. But it wasn't just them. It wasn't just her that was putting out these a video and talking about this and getting it on social media. Apparently, there was other family members doing the same. It's pretty interesting. But like I said, the burning question still remains: how long ago did anyone lay eyes on Emmanuel Haro? Did they see him the day before the football event? Did they see him? Did they not see him for days? What's going on here, right? What's the truth?
I was in the parking lot of Big Lots the night that this all happened, and the sister was posting all over social media that the mother said this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
That story changed with police officers, which is why they're seeing these inconsistencies. Now, I want to be very clear. The information that we are getting is very minimal. The cops are keeping everything very close to the chest, and that immediately warns me as someone that studies all this stuff. They know something in this case that they do not want released.
Damn right. They don't know, like, literally, they're not going to give everything to the public. The police know a lot more than what they're letting off. If they're going to instantly go, ma'am, there seems to be a lot of inconsistencies in your story, ma'am. You mind sitting down right here and doing a lie detector test for us real quick, ma'am? They already know something. They already know some information. Remember, she can't identify the person. She can't identify a vehicle. All she knows is the guy said hola. Like I said, she said, he said hola. That's it. She says, I turned around and I saw white. Because, she was getting hit in the face. And that's it. So, of course, police know a lot more. If you got cadaver dogs in the area, they're excavating the backyard. Yeah, they know a lot more than us, for sure. And like I said, maybe this will get wrapped up before lunch tomorrow. Maybe. You never know.
They are not asking for local search committees to come up and look for this baby like they do in a lot of other cases. They are not releasing suspect information. They are not releasing much.
They're not asking for any search and rescue teams, okay? They're not asking for like big time YouTuber search and rescue people to come out. Okay, remember, Uvalde Foundation declined. They stepped down from actually going out there to help find Emmanuel because there's inconsistencies in this woman's story. So yes, something sinister most definitely happened here, guys. The police aren't even asking for help. They're not going, hey, if anybody wants to get out here, boots on the ground, we can comb the area together. We can get some volunteers and come on out here. There's a lot of terrain. There's a lot of sand that we got to walk through. We could use some help. They're not even doing that either. That's what they usually do. And they're not doing that either. So yeah, they know a whole lot more than they're letting off.
Which means they know something and they're working this case. They're not doing anything. They're working this case with the information that they have, but they're keeping it close. And when they do that, it's because they're honing in on someone.
They got somebody. And it's those two, y'all. It's both of them, though. It's both of them. Okay? It's both of them, guys. I'm really, really sorry. So sorry. So sorry. But they definitely have something to do with this. Okay? Period. Point blank. Now, here's a quick thing that I need to ask you guys, okay? If you guys could do me a quick solid, all right? Your boy's working hard out here on a late Sunday night. Can you please be ever so kind and hit that like button down below? All right. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on the TikToks. Okay. Your man is working hard. Okay. Can we get it to 1K likes on YouTube? If you're watching on YouTube, okay, can you just hit the like? There's a gang of y'all in here, and it would really be appreciated if you can hit that like. If you're entertained and informed at the same time, please hit that like button and hit that like button down there too. All right. And I got some gummy highs or whatever the hell that is up there. Yeah. Okay. If you're watching on the TikTok and you just want to give me a gummy, you're more than welcome to do that. And that would be greatly appreciated. No pressure, but if you can, that'd be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe. We're keeping an eye on this case. Okay. We are really keeping an eye on this mother lover. Okay. Because let's be real. I think justice is going to be coming very soon. And then we will have Pig Vomit 1 and 2 or Pig Vomit 2 and 3. Okay. Let's be real, but let's continue on. Let's hear a little bit more of what she got to say. She's got some tours of the area as well that I want to share with y'all as well.
So I want to make that very clear. This sister has now deleted her Facebook page and all of the comments.
Sister deleted the Facebook. Why would she delete her whole social media? Why? Because let's be real. Think about it. If you are going family over everything, you know, Vin Diesel, Fast and Furious, then you're going to stand 10 toes down. You're going to be like, I don't care what y'all say. My family is innocent. I don't care what you say. I'm standing with my family, period. And I'll stand here till I die, right? But no. She shuts it all down. Why? It's weird. It's a little weird. I think we can all agree on that's a little weird. Something's up with that. Now, it could be two different things. Either she can't take the harassment that was going on, right? She can't take it. She can't handle the harassment. She didn't realize it was going to be such a tidal wave of people going, she did it. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And so maybe she was just like, F this, I can't do this. Or the one that I'm really leaning on is that she found out that there was inconsistencies in her sister-in-law's story, and she realized, oh my damn, they mother-loving lied. That's the only other choice, guys. I'm leaning on option 2. I think that's the most educated guess, because honestly, it's the internet. There's all kinds of trolls out there. There's all kinds of buttholes out here saying all kinds of stuff all day long. Okay? You got a kid that's missing. This is the platforms that you use to get the word out there. But instead of you going, I'm going to stand on this hill. I'm going to die on this hill for the sake of keeping the name of Emmanuel Haro out there. You're going to delete the whole platform? That doesn't make sense. I think the sister-in-law found out some things and realized, oh, damn, they may have really done something here. I'm not standing with this. I'm not going to put that out here. You see what I'm saying? That's just my theory. That's just my theory.
Now, we as a community, we have screenshots of all of this because we take screenshots. Everyone does. So we have that information that was. I'm going to go today and I'm going to show you where this all happened.
So we're going to go over to that too, because I want you guys to see that too. So let's take a look at this.
So I wanted to come to Big 5 to show you kind of the layout so you guys can see it. Before I show you where she parked, that is a clothing store that was already closed. That is where Big Lots was, that is closed down. And that is where AutoZone is, which is where people are saying that she was parked. That is not true. Or where she ran to. Again, that is not true. This is our boulevard. It is 8 o'clock in the morning, and as you can see, there's still traffic on here. There's people walking. There's a lady that just walked by me not too long ago. There's a gas station right over there. But this is at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
So 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday outside of Big 5 sporting goods store. She's showing the area. Yeah, it's you know, like it's a smaller town, but there's still a lot of, you know, a decent amount of traffic going in and out, etc. There's the clothing store, and there's a couple other like a Big Lots, I guess, in the same area. Those things are shut down. They're out of business, right? But that still doesn't change the fact that if you look at, I don't know about 8 o'clock in the morning right now, this parking lot in front of the store, Big Five, but every time we've seen footage of Big Five, it's been fairly decently busy. So did she pull up on a Thursday evening at a time that it was just nobody there? No patrons, customers walking in and out of the actual store? Just seems a little bit weird, but it's still possible. But let's continue. Let's take a look.
It is so much more packed, and I will show you as we're still here the cars that go up and down this boulevard. This is our main street. Like, you could just hear them. They're going up and down. It is what it is. There's cars parked over there. Oh, this one's not open yet, but people are just parked there. And then there's homes right here behind it. So with Big Five, there are no cameras on this building that you can see that are over here. Those are fire extinguishers. But she was parked
all
right
the way over
here.
there.
And the one thing I will point out is everyone was like, oh my God, she parked so far from the entrance, blah, 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 blah. I can't say that that was wrong, because for me, you come in through here. My truck's over there, so I'm going to go there. The driveway's right over there. You come in, and I always park right in these two spots. The door is right there, but usually, like, the people that work here are parked over in this spot. But people are coming and going to this facility because this is the only sporting goods store that we really have in Yucaipa.
That's a big deal. Let me just emphasize that really quick. This sporting goods store is the only sporting goods store in the entire Yucaipa area. That is a massive deal. It doesn't mean that, hey, you know, that doesn't mean that, hey, there's another, I don't know. I'm trying to think of another sporting goods store. You know, it's not like there's another Dick's sporting goods store down the street, right? That you have choices, you have options. You got one. And there's all kinds of people that are trying to get whatever. Plenty of kids that need Little League X, Y, and Z's, so on and so forth, right? So again, the only sporting goods store in the area. So you know for a fact this store stays decently busy. So I guess the question still remains, why would they not have security cameras in the parking? Well, they better have security cameras out in the parking lot now, because any person that wants to rob the joint is going to do it now. You see what I'm saying? But that's crazy, though.
Unless we want to go to like Redlands or Highland or wherever. This is the only one that we have. But as you can see, as you're looking at this building, there are no cameras on the outside of it. So that is fully
crazy.
Correct. The cameras are inside. And it hasn't been released that if they got footage from inside and they know, none of that. Now, there's a jewelry store right behind these bushes. But again, as you can see, it's kind of covered. And even if there were cameras, there is this tree that is in the way right here. So I wanted to show you this so you guys can see. And then as you guys will notice.
Rolling that back.
And even if there were cameras, there is this tree
that
is in the way right here.
And I feel like that's very convenient, right? That you got this fat ass tree blocking. If there was a camera pointed in this general direction of where she was parked, it's kind of convenient that a big ass tree could be there to block the view if there was a camera pointing in that direction in that parking lot. It's like I said, it just seems so odd that she would park where she parked, guys. It's weird. It's very weird. But at the same time, this is the story that she gave to police. And guess what? Police aren't buying it. They don't believe it at all.
So I wanted to show you this so you guys can see. And then as you guys will notice, there's still cars coming up and down this boulevard. There's frequent traffic here, but I'm going to turn around so you guys can see it, but avoid showing my car. Coming from this part, there's this huge rose bush right here.
Yeah.
That would kind of block the view of everyone over here. If I come back over here, if I'm parked right there, and again, I'm not going to speculate that it was wrong for her to park here because this is exactly where I park when I come. I come to the store way too many times in a week. My children are all in sports, but if you go over here, you can see it kind of blocks a little bit. So I just wanted to show you guys that. And as I was walking away, there's a ton of cars coming in here.
See,
as you can see, it just
so cars are going into the parking lot, and it's only about 8 something in the morning on a Sunday, because she recorded this 12 hours ago, right? Or posted this 12 hours ago. So again, like I said, you're looking at something like this, and it's like, wait a second, you see that people are coming in and out of this spot. So you mean to tell me no one saw this woman get knocked the F out, or even see a passed out woman on the ground of a parking lot with her door wide open? No one went to her aid, tried to help her or anything of that sort. That seems a little bit odd, don't you think? Okay. And again, the police are cutting or seeing through the BS. That's clearly what's going on. I truly think that they haven't said a whole lot of information, or they haven't said much, because they're still deep diving into everything. And I think they're trying to really solidify and lock down lock in and lock down on the people who are involved in this situation. Now, here's something. Actually, let me do this really quick. Hold on, guys. Sorry. 1 second. So again, I look at all this and I'm side-eyeing the hell out of it. I know somebody just sent me something here too, which we're going to take a look at here as well, because it's just crazy. All of this, like I said, I got so many questions. I got so many questions, okay, in regards to all this. This is pretty insane. But one thing is for sure: they're excavating, they're digging through the backyard of this, of this home and all that. And I got to be honest. I mean, you looking at the place itself, this is allegedly the backyard right here. Okay, their backyard. But also, what's interesting about this is big, huge backyard. Look at all the drums. You know what I mean? The barrels. Okay, that's something that's interesting. All right, so they're doing everything they can to figure out where this kid is, if the kid is back there or not. Okay, they're doing everything they can to find the truth. All right, but here's the thing: look at all of that behind them. There is so much dirt, mountainous areas, sand, etc. It's just land. It's a vast amount of land behind that house and surrounding the house. So if he really was gone, right, around the time that black eye that Rebecca got was fresh, okay, which would be about a week ago in my prediction, okay, my assessment. And, I'm not an expert. It's just what I feel it would be, okay? They had plenty of time to go and move this body somewhere. Plenty of time. That's ample enough time. And you are literally in, root beer, basically in a desert region. Go out there in the middle of the desert and bury the body. That's not super far-fetched, given with all the information that we've heard so far, right? Now, there has been more information. Hold on. Go back. Come on. There has been other information in regards to Rebecca's brother, which is also very crazy. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know what that automatically means. Okay. I mean, just because the brother may have a violent past doesn't automatically mean she's violent, but at the same time, she could also be a victim of her brother too, for, if he's a violent guy. But like I said, it's very, very strange. The information that they have about her brother, okay, who he's serving like 50 years or something like that behind bars, okay, for being violent. So again, she's just surrounded by violent people, which is crazy. Okay. Now I do want to share this too. Hold on, guys. Hopefully it's not loud.
We have now made it.
Hold on. Let me see. Now this is crazy. So there's an account. I don't know. What's his name? Ahmed Belozo. I guess he put out a video. Let's take a look at this. He's the guy who actually interviewed the grandmother in the last show we just did this morning. Okay, so apparently, or this afternoon, but apparently he's at the landfill. So it says authorities reported that a 7-month-old boy we already know about that, outside a business, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Friday morning, deputies confirmed that the case remains active and the child has not been found or has not yet been found. Okay. So
To the river.
Hold on. I'm trying to get this. See less. Let's go. So now this guy, as of today, okay, he went to the Lamb Canyon landfill. So I'm kind of curious why he's there.
Riverside County disposal site here at Lamb Canyon landfill on the Tira. New reports have now came in through social media accounts that quite possibly little Emmanuel Haro was found in a dumpster somewhere in the county, which leads us here to the Lamb Canyon landfill.
Okay, so this is where you guys got the story about Emmanuel possibly being found in a dumpster. Okay. Well, maybe that's just rumor. Okay. Oh, I'm on YouTube, Amy. I'm on YouTube, Amy, on TikTok. I ain't left. I'm still here. But what's interesting is that we got to take this with a grain of salt. But again, he's saying that it was found in, I don't know if that's entirely true. Obviously, other people are saying that's been debunked. Okay. I'm going to play a little bit more for a second, just for a second.
Now, I don't know if these reports are accurate or not. Obviously, the landfill closed today, so we can't ask any personnel if any deputies have been up here conducting any investigations, or if in fact they found little Emmanuel here on the Tira.
Okay, so again, he's like, I can't confirm this at all. Okay, but that doesn't. Let's play a little bit more.
We pray and hope that all you fools out there are not using this just for your own benefit, because there's real lives at stake here, especially little Emmanuel. And so if in fact you are going to put out information, even if it's not confirmed, please say allegedly. Please let the people know that you do not have the facts, as don't I, homie, but I never claim to do so.
Okay. Again, okay. We get it. Now here's the thing. Of course, like I said before, there's a lot of information, of course, that's going to be, you got to take with a grain of salt. There's a lot of people that are going to say things that aren't true. There's going to be a lot of things that are just fabricated, made up, etc., just so they get a click or a view and all that. Me, I try to stay as close to the information that's out there via news and other types of periodicals, etc., as best as I can, right? Now, that is definitely a rumor that has circulated. I don't think that he's been found in a dumpster. I think that if that was the case, that would have been all over the news right now. That would have been all over the news, guys. All over the damn news. And it's not. You see what I'm saying? So again, some people get information and sometimes they're not correct, right? Those things do happen, right? But again, that it is very interesting with everything. And I know that a lot of people want to get the information. A lot of people are desperate to be the first with all the hot news and all that. And unfortunately, some people jump the gun and don't have everything correct, right? Or put out something that's completely false. Those things do happen. Even in the news, that happens, right? But, you try to get the best information as you can to give it to the people, right? Now, of course, I do want to check just to see if there's any more updates, over the course of this show, if there's been any new information. Now, I do want to share this, though, because obviously we talked about it, but I haven't really shown you anything about this, and it has to do with the dad. Jake from State Farm, okay? Jake has a history, and it's violent. And he has a felony child cruelty conviction. This is a very, very big deal. So let's talk about this, shall we? So father of toddler missing in California has felony child cruelty conviction. So as new details emerge in the case of an allegedly taken 7-month-old boy in San Bernardino County, authorities have reportedly taken the couple's 2-year-old. That's confirmed. So they have reportedly took the 2-year-old daughter from the home. They have searched the home with cadaver dogs, while an independent group devoted to finding missing kids has withdrawn its offered reward and suspended its search efforts. That's a very big deal. Why? Because they are all seeing that this thing is a lie. That's basically it. They're going, oh, damn. She lied. He lied. We going to keep moving. They lie, right? So we already know about the whole story. I came over here and it parked right on the edge. And when I was driving over here, I smelled the baby, went to the restroom. I said, don't worry, we're going to change you, blah, blah, blah. And she was attacked. So an Amber Alert was never issued because they don't have any information about a suspect or vehicle. So they can't really say much, which sucks because they lie. Sheriff's investigators said they were when they confronted with inconsistencies in her story, she refused to continue speaking to the authorities. Who does that? We already know about that as well, right? When Rebecca was asked to take a lie detector test, the husband stepped forward and refused that request until they had a lawyer present. That seems weird too. So Riverside County Superior Court records show that Jake Emmanuel Haro has a June 2023 felony conviction for child cruelty from a 2018 arrest in Hemet, the Orange County Register reported. So he has a violent past, okay? He has put his hands on his kids. He was sentenced to 180 days in jail and 48 months of probation and is scheduled to appear in court in early September, in just a few weeks, for an alleged probation violation. What was the violation? That's what I'd like to know. What did he violate within this probation? He only had to be on probation for 4 years. A 4-year probation. That's it. And he violated it somehow. Possessing a weapon, you say? Somebody said possessing a weapon. I don't know. But while friends and family launched a search effort Friday night, authorities on Saturday reportedly searched the couple's home and brought along cadaver dogs. At this point in the investigation, investigators are unable to rule out foul play in the disappearance of Emmanuel. So this is what they said, and we already know about that. They're looking into it. Officials with the Uvalde Foundation for Kids, who are offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to the recovery of Emmanuel, according to the Register, called off their independent search less than a day after announcing the effort. That's a big freaking deal. They said, oh, never mind. We cannot in good conscience utilize our team and resources when so much is missing in this case. Of particular concern to us lies within the inconsistencies, the details, and the sudden decision by the mother to end communication with law enforcement and our team. Something's not right in this whole picture. This is what the foundation's founder told the outlet. They said that during a press conference. In the meantime, Rebecca and Jake from State Farm continue to plead for the safe return of their 7-month-old. Okay? And again, just so you guys remember, he is 24 inches tall. He weighs about 21 pounds. He has brown hair, brown eyes, and is cross-eyed. He was last seen wearing a black Nike onesie. And if anybody has any information about his whereabouts, first off, call 911. If you can't remember the number that I'm about to read off to you guys, call 911. Or you can call Sheriff's Dispatch at 909-387-8313 or the Sheriff's Specialized Investigations Division at 909-890-4904. And anonymous tips can be submitted to We Tip at 1-800-78-CRIME, which is spelling out crime. It's 27463. Okay? Or you can just go to wetip.com. So if you have any information about this, please reach out. Okay? And of course, if you saw something, say something for sure. Because again, this kid, good God, I hope he's still alive. And if he is, if you know where he is, speak up. Or if you saw anything weird, speak up. Like I said, for the last week, before he went missing, before he was reported missing, did any family members ever lay eyes on him alive and breathing? That's the main question I think a lot of us want to know. Also, when they went to the football practice game, whatever it was, did people actually see him out, running around, playing in the grass, playing with his other siblings, before he went with his mama to Big Five, to the Big Five sporting goods store? Did anyone see this kid for the last 5 to 7 days before he went missing? I'm wondering if anyone can answer that. And if they can, and they haven't spoken out yet, please speak up. Call those numbers. And bring this kid home. And hopefully bring this kid home alive. This is some crazy stuff, y'all. This is some absolutely crazy, crazy stuff. But we're keeping an eye on this. I'm very curious as to what lane is it going to go down? What road is it going to go down, right? We're literally in a fork in the road. You know, It can go really bad. It can go exactly where we all are thinking it's going, or it can go to a really great place, right? Where he's found. I guess only time will tell. But my fingers are crossed and I'm praying. It just sucks. Because for such a person like myself that believes that we are all naturally good people, there's always something, right? There's always some thorn on that rose, right? To remind you that there is evil out there in the world, right? But hopefully the good outweighs the evil. The good sucks the poison of evil out of these kinds of situations very quickly. Yes, there are a lot of cases right now that are still unsolved, and those evil people are still living and breathing and laughing and living their lives free, breathing in this freedom air, right? But you hope that the next case, evil will be eradicated quickly, right? That's what you hope for. And I'm hoping in this one, because it's dismantling, their story is dismantling as quick. It's dismantling quicker than how they concocted the story. I'm hoping that we get this evil exposed and put in its right place, which is prison. I really hope so. Just remember, we're all good people, you know? And if you see something, say something. And if you're a praying person, keep praying. Because we need that more than ever nowadays, for sure. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Really means a lot. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for being on both platforms, all the platforms, because we're on everything. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation this evening. Okay? If you can, do me that solid. Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, TikTok, Rumble, Kick, Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button. Follow. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Please follow, guys. Don't forget to follow on this TikTok. Come on. We keeping an eye on this stuff. So follow. All right? Subscribe here to my YouTube channel. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips and Pascal Raw. Subscribe to those as well. All right? Hit that notification bell. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because right now it's kind of random. Okay? Please, baby, please. That'd be greatly appreciated. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out pascalmerch.motherloving.com. We got some really great stuff over there, guys, like this hoodie. Look at this. Oh, snap. Fire dough. Okay? Handcrafted hoodies, T-shirts, etc. Check it out. pascalmerch.com. Okay? Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Have a great rest of your Sunday night. I know some of you guys, it's Monday morning now, but good morning. Okay? And for those of y'all who are taking your kids to their first day of school, enjoy it. Have a great one. Make sure you get some really good photos of them on their first day of school. Okay? Make it an enjoyable one. And we'll be talking here very soon, okay? Much love to you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.